So we're talking about black love. Where is it and how do we get to it? So there's this video that Tori sent. I'm going to play it.
Blame it on me.
Yeah, it was you. I'm going to play it because this man had some opinionated thoughts. So let's hear it, y'all. Let me press play. Hold on. Wait, y'all now.
Look at that, she believed us too.
Why can't I get? Hold on now. Technical difficulties. Hold on.
Unhappy with one woman till he die. I'm just the only black man can finally say it. Nigga is really miserable. Nigga ain't permanently miserable. And then the black woman is selfish in the relationship.
Explain that.
Well, it's all about her. If she having a bad day, the house has a bad day. Her feelings matter more than the best interest of the relationship. True. Her feelings matter more than the best interest of the children. Everything revolves around the black woman. When God created everything to revolve around the man. God created everything to center and evolve around the man. No matter what kind of man he is. The woman is the motivator to the man. She's his inspiration to all things. To be better, to do better. But she don't know how to motivate him. Outside getting him some pussy.
Why you think the black relationship do not last anymore?
Okay, so his question was, why don't black relationships last anymore? That was the part that was cut off. And that was his response. So, I would like to know where we are with that. Because if we've already determined that the mother is the foundation of trauma and it's not just with children. So if we are dysfunctioned already and now we're making bad choices and everything still stems from us, what do we need to do to make black love healthy?
That's a lot. First, I want to say I'm tired of the narrative of black love doesn't last anymore. Wasn't nobody living in the past that be talking all that. How do we know? Because the same, what's going on today went on back then.
Talk a little louder just in case I want to make sure.
The same that's going on today went on back then. So black love wasn't lasting back then either. If how do we know? Because it's broken families today, right?
It's broken
We got
families.
it from somewhere. This didn't just start. But if it's not lasting, it's because how can I put it?
Because
it was lasting longer because when you have to depend on one person, you gotta shut up and do what the fuck you got to do when you depend on one person.
That's a heavy.
When you're dependent on somebody, that's all it's about. I have to depend on him, his income, to take care of me and these kids. So I got to deal with what I got to deal with it,
and
this
shut up.
marriage is going to fucking last. That's it. That's all. Because they was tired too. They were tired too. They knew their husband had a whole family across the street, but they couldn't say shit.
Because
they didn't have room to stand on.
Yes. Wow.
But we talk shit now because we got room to stand on.
I was going to say, to piggyback.
Say it louder, Nee.
To piggyback off of what Tasha is saying, because I completely agree, to take the baton and then pass it on, there's no longer a need for love. And that's what society has painted a picture to make us feel that there's no longer a need for it. So that is why relationships are not lasting. There's, like she said, we used to depend on someone. So that provided a need now. And now that they've taken the need away, I And that's the reason why, in
Yeah.
my opinion, that black love is not sustaining the way that it used to sustain.
And back in the day, men
'Cause-
married them women because them women got pregnant.
Yeah.
You got to marry her now. That's how it was back in the day. That's why half the men was so goddamn mean, because they ain't want to be there.
So let me ask this question. So
They ain't want. They was forced to be there.
My
So-
aunt was one of them. My grandfather, she got pregnant at 17. My grandfather
Yeah,
made her marry the man that you laid who pregnated my daughter.
That's it.
so let me ask this question.
Yes.
So when the families were together, no matter what, and the man was the provider, right? And the woman, the mother, stayed at home with the children, took care of the house, right? What switched that? And I know the thing is the man was removed from the home because of public aid purposes, right? But that wasn't the case prior. The man was the provider. So when did it switch that he was no longer the provider? Did the mother go out and apply for public aid and start that process?
I think as women, when women felt that we were unable to depend on them, that's when it changed.
If you're not safe, if you don't feel safe with your partner,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
gotta do what
That's
the fuck
what
you gotta do.
And
You
when
gotta
we-
do what
yeah.
you have to do.
Yeah.
If you don't make me feel safe.
Yeah.
And meaning, if I can't feel like I could depend on you 100%,
Yeah.
and you could depend on me, you don't make. I gotta do what I have to do.
Yeah. They created
That's what
us.
creates that.
Okay.
They created us. That's what it is. Like, and that's why I hate the whole feminine
It's just
masculine
like-
thing and all of
it's
that.
just
To me,
such
it
a
doesn't
seesaw.
make any sense because this.
Right. How do we
it's-
balance
it's-
it?
I know it's
That's
a
what it is.
seesaw. It's
It's
How
what
do
it
we
is.
balance
You
it?
can't. You can't. That is a never-ending feat. Like, how are you? That's gonna the finish line and the mark will always be moved. You will never be able to balance that. You have to adjust within you.
I think with our generation, I think with the new generations to come, it's going to be a balance. Because if you kind of pay attention to them now, they're not bound down.
No.
That's
We were taught to be, that's man and woman, to be very submissive and bow down. We have to bow down to the man bow down to the white man. We were taught that. These children are not doing that. They're not going for that. They're speaking up. So we may not see it now, but sooner or later it's gonna be. It's and I'm not saying it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm not saying it's gonna be 10 years from now. We're gonna be long and gone, and even the generations to come, that they're gonna be. It's gonna be about. It's gonna be a balance somewhere. Because we look at the children of today, the generations of today, by them speaking up, we say they disrespectful.
They disrespectful.
not.
And they're not.
They're just speaking up. They're just speaking up there for how I'm being disrespectful because you don't like it.
And then when you shun them from speaking, you make it hard for them to grow into an adult and be able to communicate
It's not
effectively.
They don't know how to do it because now they on guard.
because now they're on guard and they're on the defense.
Yes.
And everything is an argument because they're
Yes.
afraid.
Yes.
You know, it's so it's a generational
Yes.
that we
So
need to
balance
stop.
Come in by letting them speak up, but that's when we step in. Okay, I understand your point, but maybe you need to go tweak it this way.
But just let
because
me hear it.
everybody
Yes.
not gonna take it like that. You still got to appeal. You still have to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You need to know your audience
Always.
because your audience, because the way you may talk to this person, that person can't take it like that. You just have to learn.
You have to
That's
learn
when it becomes effective.
To communicate
To
for both.
communicate.
Yes.
That's where also emotional intelligence plays a
Yeah.
major role
Yeah.
because you've read the room. When you read the room, you understand that,
But
and that's
some
how
people
you
don't even read the room.
communicate. That's when you communicate with people in a
Everybody
different
don't read
level.
the room.
You
They
are
just-
cognizant of how it will be received, so therefore you try to present it in a different way.
You know what I really dislike when it comes to communication? One of my number one pet peeves is a manipulative communicator. And let me tell you what I mean by that. A person that communicates in a way that they want you to pick up on what it is they need, that they dropping, the hints. They beating around because they've already calculated in their mind
that you're gonna
what-
say yes to whatever it is they need because they feel like they know your personality and they know you. They feel like they won.
You see how I see.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
when I feel any type of manipulation in a conversation, that will be the end of the conversation.
It's a trigger for you.
It's a trigger.
Because you know what it symbolizes to me is that either you think that you are that clever,
or you think that I'm that slow.
naive.
Okay.
It's
one of the two, and either way,
it's bad. It's
your
bad either way.
intent.
Yeah, it's bad either way.
Yes.
Oh, but when you wake up and you have a better understanding of who
Talk a
and
little
what
louder,
it
Nee.
is, when you wake up and you have a better understanding of who and what it is that you are dealing with, you can only be mad at yourself.
At your
like Tasha
own
said,
self.
You can only be mad at yourself.
Because they're doing what they supposed to do and what they've been doing.
Yep. But it's
So-
the lesson. Sometimes it takes you longer to get the lesson, but baby, when you get the lesson,
That's what they've been doing.
yeah,
It's not that
yeah.
It's not that you're stupid. It's
Yep.
not that they think that. They just been doing this to everybody for so long.
And you
so
were no exception.
And but how do you
if
create?
you may have certain traits that they say, oh, okay, I got over. This is the, because I've been doing this to everybody. Not saying that you're stupid, but okay, I think I got it. So now let me try it. That's just what they've been doing.
Yep.
And then how do you create a healthy anything with that type of mindset?
You will never
You
create
can
that.
name. You
That's
can.
chaos.
I just know the power to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you don't have any problem saying no, Tori. I mean,
That's
no
chaos.
problem at all.
Right.
You know, I asked the question the other day about, do you know the difference between being nice and being kind?
Yeah. I feel I do.
So for me, nice is for people pleasers, because you saying yes and you doing everything to appease someone else because of your need for validation. Kind is, I respect you, but I don't have to adhere or acknowledge or respond to you.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah. And whatever I do for you is because I want to.
it's because I want
It's
to.
because I want to. And it's something that I felt compelled to do.
And people pleasers are are quick to say, I'm just a nice person. No, that is not nice.
Right.
And for me, and I know it may be awkward, and I told you all I'm a little unhinged, but when I hear people say that, I'm just a nice person, that is a trigger and a red flag for me.
And I can see exactly why it is. Because you're trying to convince me.
You trying to
trying to
convince
convince
me.
You don't have to convince me.
My mom
Because I'm a
always
seed.
taught me what comes from the heart
Reaches the heart.
And I stand firm on that because it is how I feel. And how whatever it is that you did or said made me feel. And
Yes.
that's why when people try to convince you otherwise, that's where the problem. That's when I know you're not, because what it is, it'll just show. My mom used to say, if you got your shit, if you got it going on, it'll just show.
It'll
That's
just
what my mom
show.
said,
You
it'll
ain't
just
got to
show.
tell me.
You ain't got to. You don't have to point it out
And why you pointing it out?
because you want me to see.
Because you hiding something that you don't want me to see. You know?
Exactly. That's that discernment and the impact.
It-
I keep telling y'all, but people don't want to.
People don't believe in that. That discernment is
It's
a real
this
thing.
real.
That spirit of discernment, that's real.
I think sometimes what happens is people who've been covered up for so long, they think that you don't see them.
And that's what it is.
Yes.
And that's so like when
They've
it
been
goes
doing
back,
it so long.
I was just gonna say, it
Mhm.
goes back to what you said,
I like
Tasha.
you said they
So-
think they don't see.
And I have a
That's real.
motto: if you do it to others,
You gonna do it to
eventually
me.
You
I
gon-
will get my turn on the wheel.
On the
Because that is not.
that
it's
is
not,
who you are.
It's
That's
not
just what you do.
environmental.
Mhm.
It's not circumstantial.
You've been doing that all your life.
It is your character.
Intentional.
It's your character.
Yes.
And it's okay. That can be you. I just don't have.
We
to
just
deal
don't
with
have
it.
anything in common.
I don't have to deal with it. I'm not saying that you bad and I'm right and you wrong. Whatever. I go back and say I just don't have to fuck with you.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It ain't hard at all.
It's not. And it's like you. You don't even be mad.
You know?
It took me, I'm gonna tell y'all, it took me a long time to get to that. I swear, I saw something that I reposted a couple of weeks ago that said, what is the one thing that therapy has taught you? Like if you had to sum it up in one word. And I said for me, my one word was boundaries. And I said, like, there were some loose ends that I felt like I definitely needed to tie up in my life. Like, you know the things that you need to do. And when those loose ends begin to tie up, you're like, okay, I see why. But that was a boundary for you. And that was, if you're working towards boundaries, that sometimes that thing that has always crossed the boundary, you have to, like, let that go. Like, because now it's triggering your boundaries. It's like you've taken all of these steps forward and you still got this one thing that's pulling you back that you know that you need to. That's because if you're working towards something, you got to stick to it. So if there was my one word, it would be boundaries. Yeah.
So, Tori, since you are the only man in the room at this moment,
And please understand, when I speak for me.
I want you to speak for you, and because I know you are.
Speak in December. Kat.
You are transparently honest, okay?
Absolutely not.
So what has, we always frequently talk about our experiences with men. I would really like to know what has been your experience with dating women,
As far as
and as far as, because I know that you mentioned wanting to be in a relationship and then not wanting to be in a relationship. So I guess you're kind of on the fence. And because they say women outnumber men, what's been the problem for you? Are you the problem or are women the problem?
it could be both. To be quite honest, it could be both.
Have you not been attracted to the women that you have been dating, or you have not found anyone that measures up?
Yeah. So my problem is, once I see a flag, it's done. It's over with. I'm out.
Give me an example of a red flag for you.
A woman telling me how good she is to be the woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
See that?
I don't want to deal with you now. I don't need you to tell me who you think you are.
Right.
Because who you think you are is not coming across.
That's why she wanted to tell you. That's exactly why she wanted to
She's
tell
trying
you.
to
Because
persuade
it's not in her character. So she want to tell
She
you.
want to tell you.
She want to say this is all the things that I possess.
Right. Don't worry about all that other stuff.
Right.
Right.
Just focus on this right here.
Right.
Just
Don't
focus
worry
on.
I can be
Just focus on this.
Yeah.
All that's some bullshit. Don't
Right.
ignore that shit.
Right.
That's just for show. That's just for show. I'm a hood actor right now. That's just for show.
Exactly.
But what I could really be a good woman to you. Don't worry about what you see outside. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. If I'm talking to him and him, don't worry about that. You good. You good. I got you. That's what it is, nigga. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. She got to tell you.
She got to tell me.
She got to tell you because she wants you to know.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly. Right.
She know you done seen some shit.
And so we have 2 single women. So what has been your discrepancies or red flags, if you will?
Well, I don't date.
You don't date at all. Really?
I don't date because
Say it louder because this is ooh.
I don't date because I don't want to be bothered right
Yes.
now. I don't want to be bothered right now.
And
because I don't want to be bothered, I'm not going to make time for you at all because I don't want to. And it's nothing bad and it's nothing against you. First off, I got a lot going on as it is. Certain things, that's my number one. I got my, that's going on. Then when I get the time to myself, I don't want to go out and kick it with somebody else. I need to deal with me.
yes.
Because I don't want to be bothered. I'm being bothered with me. I need to deal with me.
That's
And
powerful.
not only that I got to deal with me, I still got my 2 girls that I'm trying to get them.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get them on the way. Give them the skills that they need for this world that's out here. You understand what I'm saying? So because that takes up a lot of time, I already take up my own time, me. Then I got them that's taking up. You know, I got to balance this because I got to deal with different personalities. Not just two personalities. I got mine. I still got shit I got to weigh every day. I got to deal with, do I want to do this bullshit or do I want to do, you know what I'm saying? So then to deal with somebody else, that's somebody else I got to balance into my schedule that I'm not ready for. That's it. That's all. I'm just being honest. I'm not ready for that. Because you're not going to be ready for what I'm going to bring to you. You're not going to be ready for what I'm going to bring to you. Because once you fuck with me, you going to want my motherfucking time. That's how cold I am. That's how cold I am. You going to want my time.
I love that.
You going to want my
Yes.
time. Because you may not want to hear that, but I'm a woman that stand on bed. I'm saying how you say you don't want to hear when a woman say that. I tell her I'm cold than a motherfucker. I'm just, you know.
It's a difference.
Okay, I see what you're saying,
It's
but
different.
you know, I stand on my shit. So I don't even want to play with you like that. Because I'm going to be playing with you. So I don't date.
That's powerful.
I don't date.
That is real powerful.
I ain't ready for that.
So what about your sexual needs? What do you do about that? Since we talking
How you doing?
out the blue.
I'll date, but
No red tape.
I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. No.
No.
As far as
Let me
that is
make sure this
concerned, for
video.
real, as far as the sexual is concerned, I keep myself busy. I keep myself busy. So when you busy, you occupied, you worried about other things, this and that, your mind it'll come, but you can get rid of that real quick. You can get rid of that real quick. Now I may go in the drawing, you know, every now and then. Hey, you know,
And we're gonna talk about you
got the shit because the holding the shit in ain't good.
is that the
You
rose?
got the.
So wait a minute, because I got so many questions.
What?
I got so many questions about this rose because the rose
is the worst.
it's the worst thing to have
Why?
compared because there's
Tell me.
I mean you still want the sensation
Right.
of penetration,
Right.
you know,
Right.
but I don't use it often. Let me just
No,
say that.
don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I don't pull it out like that now. I don't pull it out. I tickle my fancy.
That's it.
Just tickle my fancy. And that's it. I'm cool.
That's it.
I ain't the one that have toys to go through. Now I ain't got time for all that. That's too much. If I got to haul all that,
Is your reason because you don't want to be desensitized, or it's just not? That's just not where
on
you're
my mind.
right.
It's not on the mind. I done did what I had to do. I chill. I be in my thoughts. I got shit to do around the house. I'm drained. The same as when somebody's in a relationship. Women be drained from doing a lot of shit.
And that is true. And you be
So
tired.
and these husbands don't get that.
And that's another reason
and
why.
And like I say,
Yeah.
when I'm with you, I'm not telling you no. I shouldn't have to tell you
I shouldn't have to tell you
Once I
no.
already let you know what the boundaries are, this, and that, any other time I should not have to tell you no.
But the fact
And
that
you shouldn't have to tell me the same thing. But if I got to tell you no, I don't have time for you. Because I shouldn't have to tell you no as my man.
that's so powerful.
And
But
I'm
how
telling
many
you
people
no.
understand that? Seriously, how many people?
right.
That's a level of
Yeah.
accountability that
And
many.
guess what?
Whew.
Men get mad after a while.
Yes.
You keep telling them no.
Yes.
As they should. Because now you're telling me you don't want to spend time with me.
Yes. So
Then
it's better
that's
to
when they
just
use the excuse, I'm going to go get time with somebody else. So to avoid all of that.
avoid all of that.
I don't date.
Let me just stay in my lane.
Let me stay in my lane. I'm not ready for that. When I'm
Yes.
ready for it, it's going to happen. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But I ain't ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready for that.
Yeah. And that's real shit.
That's it. That's all.
Like literally.
And if I think
And-
a lot of people just own up to that,
To that.
you wouldn't have the problems that you have
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And
People are in
that's
relationships they don't want to fucking be in.
because they cannot and they refuse to be by themselves.
That they shouldn't be in.
Yes.
Baby,
Yes,
we are
because they refuse to
embarrassed.
be by themselves, because being by themselves
Yes.
makes them think
Yes.
about themselves,
And you don't wanna
and
do
them
that.
them are not pretty
You
thoughts.
got to be ready to be thinking
You gotta-
about yourself because you got
Yes.
to be accountable.
You got to be
You
accountable.
Gotta, you be like, damn,
Yes.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yes.
I should have been a little more ease.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't have to do that. Maybe I should have paid attention a little more.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you ask these questions, then you will be able to build a foundation of a healthy relationship, familyship, and friendship, because friendships are just as toxic as relationships, because you don't change your character just because it's your friend. You are who you are.
You are. You got to pay
Well,
attention.
who's ready to have that conversation?
Baby, tuh,
Who's
Ain't
ready
ready.
to
we
talk
finna
about that?
tuh.
Who's
They ain't
ready
ready.
to get to that level and be that
Because there's a
deep?
lot of friends that shouldn't
Because
even be friends.
that should
I
not
was
be
like,
friends.
How are y'all friends like that?
Baby.
That
I mean,
y'all
Seriously.
sticking with each other like that.
in order to have a friend, you have to be a friend.
Mm.
And that's just
Can you
the
just say it one more time, but just a
And say it
little
a
bit
little
louder?
In order to have a friend, you must
Be a friend.
period.
Hmm.
And people don't
Mm.
do that.
And seriously, like goes back to what I said about my cousin. How can you teach your baby sisterhood if you don't
That's
see
it.
the
Yeah,
value
there
in
you go.
your sister?
If I meet you, I don't even know how I'm trying to explain the scenario, but all I know is if I hear you talking about somebody that you calling your friend, woo, you done already showed me that you are not the friend.
So guess what?
A friend.
You showed me how to deal with you.
You
So
got
be very careful what I
got
tell
to
you.
be very
Word.
And
careful,
when I tell whatever I tell you, I don't care about it getting out.
because it's gonna get
Because
out.
it's gonna get out.
The word friend should be passed out like they pass out like hearts, like a heart transplant.
Baby.
You got to go through everything to get that. So in order to call somebody a friend, like I can't say, my mother asked me once if I got put out and where would I go. I knew exactly where I would go. Immediately. Me and my daughter and my mother. I knew exactly where we would be. The word friend is not something that you just toss around. Everybody doesn't get that level. I don't even want to get on.
No, come on, we finna talk about it. Because baby,
Because it will
I
be
didn't
right
went
back.
through.
I'm hungry.
I used to
What about the
think.
kids in school?
I understand that point. But I'm gonna go
They
different.
might
I'm
take
gonna go left.
friends for everybody, and
Everybody I deal with, they my friends. But on different levels. On different levels. You understand what I'm saying?
That's understandable.
Y'all my friends. On this level, if I need to have a certain type of conversation that I know y'all gonna understand with no judgment, and you gonna get my point, I'm calling y'all. I'm not gonna be able to do
I
that
get
with
that.
another friend.
Right.
I get that.
But they still my friend because they still good people.
Yeah.
But that character of them, I don't. You understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
I'm not gonna
because
call y'all. I need $1,000. I may have another friend
That you can
on
go
that
to.
level that I
Mhm.
can do that with. That's my friend.
So I get that because as a sister who is going through her healing and still on the journey, the people that you're only going to associate yourself with are going to be considered friends because you dwindled everyone else out. Their behavior, their character, whatever it is, has weeded themselves out. So I get that. I get what you're saying because I can look at the people that are in my life in different levels of friendship, but they are my friends because I don't surround myself
Right.
around those type of people anymore. I get that. I get it.
So it's just different levels, and I love them all.
Yes,
Regardless
differently.
of what flaw they have, because I got flaws in me that they may not
I
like,
get that.
that they don't get with. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
But that's my friend on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do know for sure if I was in dire need, and I had to call for maybe anything, I know they're gonna be there. I know my friends want to be there some type of way because that means some shit done went down because that's not even who you are. You know what I'm saying?
And
I allow
yes.
my friends, the people that I deal with, to get to know me.
Mm.
And if I feel you messed that up, I'm going to let you know about it as to how I felt.
And you know,
Because they're friends, and friends would understand.
Exactly.
And they would know that you're not
And I'm
coming
gonna give
from
you
a
some
place
time
of
to
malice
be yourself and
yeah.
time for me to get myself together. Because I had
Because
a friend
they
that
are
hurt me.
friends. Yeah.
yes.
You
And
know,
I was just getting ready to.
explained it to her,
Mm.
and I said, I can't be your friend right now. You understand what I'm saying? So we had to take a break because I wasn't ready for that because I was in my feelings. But once we came to and I started just thinking about certain things, let it go. You know what I'm saying? But then once talking, she was going through some shit at the time too.
Just had this
So it's just
conversation.
about
Yes.
understanding who you dealing with.
Understanding who you're dealing with. And you know, I stay isolated a lot because I realize my empathy gives to everybody,
Yep. Yep.
even if they're undeserving.
Yep.
The friend
Yep.
that I am is the
Yep.
friend that I project.
Yep.
And the hurt comes in is because I still have an expectation that someone that I'm friends with
Yep.
will appreciate my level of empathy and
Yep.
return that
Yep.
automatically.
Yep.
But that doesn't happen.
Yep.
Pull back. That's the only
Yep.
way. You still have to know how to pull back from
But
your
one thing
friends.
about people, they'll keep
Because
taking,
we
taking,
start
taking.
expecting, and another
They
thing
don't
what
even
I
care.
another thing
You're
what
gonna
I would do
out of other people. Yeah. But I get
with
that.
Yes.
me to help me be with that. I have a lot of different groups of friends, and I feel like I balance them too. I don't do all the time with them, cause that's how nonsense started.
Mhm.
You know, get started. You know.
Yeah.
People get this. I think with friendships, for me, this is. I'm gonna just put it like this. I don't allow nobody to get too comfortable, because when you get too
Mhm.
comfortable, that's when you start getting a little lazy with how you think you're gonna treat me.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
I just teach
That's
you
a
to have
fact.
your shit in check
Yeah.
when you're dealing with me.
Yeah.
As the same, I would expect somebody to do the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to cross the line that they didn't like, you understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? So for me, what helps me, I don't allow people to get too comfortable.
And I'm still working. That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
that's
why I'm
that's
like,
still a
I'm like,
healing.
Tasha, every time we
Yeah.
are in your presence, I swear I learn.
Man.
If it's
This a
not
powerful
learning,
girl.
yeah, if it's
Both
not
of you,
Start
both.
respecting that. They
Yeah,
start
if it's not
disrespecting
learning
All
about
three,
my
but we
children,
can't see
my
Kim.
My daughter was
Right.
learning about myself. Like I said,
Yes.
children. The other guy was.
Yeah.
Father, we rebuke that.
I might
We
be having
rebuke
another.
But
that.
yeah, you
Kim,
know.
it's time for you to go. It's time for the perk.
Yeah.
I thought she might be having another.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from because your perspective of it, you look at friend as a different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I get that.
Mhm.
And like I say, at the end, nobody is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We-
It's just our
W-
perception.
It's just
That's-
our perception.
that's it.
That's
It's
powerful.
what feels
That's
dear
all
to our
it is.
heart. Like what matters
It's
to
are you
us.
willing to listen to them to understand where they're coming from
Mm-hmm.
without judgment?
Without judgment.
Without judgment.
That's the
And
name.
that's the
that's it. And
literally
then you can
is.
still give your input. Just say this is how I would view it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But all that going back and forth and getting mad because I don't think like you. That's
Yeah.
a problem.
Yes, that's a
And-
problem.
oh, baby, can
And
we
that's an
talk about
argument
that?
that's not supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Can we talk
Yes.
about that? Like literally, everyone has the right to think and feel how
How
they
they
want
should
to
think.
think
That's
and
it.
feel. I don't have to
Yeah.
agree with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
It is
But we
okay.
can talk about it.
And
It's
getting
okay.
getting angry
They
because
get
I
angry.
don't.
They get angry.
And
What?
maybe
They get angry
trying
and
to
start fooling.
force
They
me
get angry.
to see
Yes.
this through your lens.
They
Like,
will.
why do
Yeah.
people like? What makes you think that's okay? Like, what? Who are you? It blows my mind.
But you already know they not the one.
Now,
Yep.
now I've learned, and it's literally when I feel myself even going there, I say to myself, "This isn't even. Does this matter to you? Is this going to affect you personally? Okay, keep whatever it is. Just okay." And like now, I even have family members that sometimes call me. I just sit and listen.
Why do
Yeah.
you all think? I'm sorry, y'all, but I gotta ask this. Why do you all think or who do you think takes more time between relationships to self-reflect on the previous relationship before getting into another relationship?
Women.
The women.
Yep.
Because we pick ourselves apart. We pick ourselves apart, unfortunately, but we might pick ourselves apart, but sometimes it has its benefits because it opens your eyes to things that you saw earlier on that you should have had a red flag. So now you know going forward, hey, I know that shit's a red flag, okay? And it prepares you for your next level of life. I don't look at any, I'm learning, I don't look at any failed situation or any undesirable situation as so fucked up because it taught me something. I try to look at what did I gain or learn from this experience or from this situation. And that's what helps you to grow and helps you to go through. You look at yourself from the things you did well and the things that you didn't do so well. And that's what helps to find the balance. But you have to be ready for that. You got to be ready for that. If you're not ready, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
With me. My eyes is burning.
Darlene, we need a break or we need to open the door. Tori, open the door, please.
Open the door for a minute, Tori. I know.
Yeah, she feeling great over there. We hot. I'm like, wait.
It's not hot in here, is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, Nidra should be hot.
It got cool outside.
Yeah, this weather is about to change. Can we talk about can we talk about the food in Italy and Germany and how it's so much different from this food over here? So I briefly did a TikTok on it, but when I was in Italy, I went to McDonald's. Their menu was a lot different, totally different. I ordered a fillet of fish and fries. When I tell you I waited 8 to 10 minutes for my food, I did. They fried a real fish, and they cut potatoes to fry the fries. Wow. No preservatives, no nothing.
No prepackaged.
So their food over there, no prepackaged. Yeah. Their food over there is extremely healthy.
Yeah.
It's insulting for us to compare like the food or expect them to cater to what we're used to because it's different.
Yeah, this food here kills me.
So what the people look like? Do they look healthier? Do they look younger?
All I know is them people over there were fine. The men and the women. They were fit. I didn't see a lot of obesity. I didn't see a lot of that. But they were, just from what I saw, everybody was biking, walking, doing, even in Germany, the same thing. Biking, walking, something, so this is a whole,
that's what's killing us.
The food is an entire setup of death for us.
It is. In Chicago, we really do.
We have the best food.
Do you know the milk, the expiration, when I was young and drinking milk, because milk ain't never ever been good for us, because since when are we supposed to be drinking cow's milk, right? So when I was young, I did drink it because I didn't know any better. I just forgot my train of thought. Where was I going with that?
You used to say something about the expiration date.
Oh, so the expiration, thank you. The expiration date back then was, let's say, about 2 weeks, right? If you go look at the milk now, the expiration date is 6 to 8 months out. So what are they putting in the milk to make it last that long?
Because nothing should last that long.
Nothing should last that long.
You need to ask
But we don't.
What they put in the eggs. The eggs is $5 and $6, really?
Yeah, they didn't really raise the prices of the eggs. But so a lot of preservatives and additives and processed.
And that's why we sick.
That's why we sick. And then you go to the doctor, they don't really know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, but they give you a prescription for something, and why is it that medicine don't make you well? Why is it
It's
that I
gonna
have to keep
trigger
taking
another,
this every month?
it's a temporary fix,
trigger off something
but then it's gonna trigger off
Another side effect. Yes.
Now you gotta start taking this.
So it's a
That's
domino
gonna
effect.
Fix that. Now it's gonna. That's all it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And everybody got high blood pressure. Everybody got sugar. That's what they on now.
Mhm.
And everything you buy is
full of sugar. You know,
Yeah.
full of salt.
Yeah.
All that. You
Yeah.
gotta even read the labels before you buy the stuff.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
hard. It's
I
hard
wonder
trying
why
to.
people, they ain't even pregnant. They some of look like they 9 months.
Yeah, because we didn't look like that growing up.
Wow.
Right.
And they
It's
look
the
bad.
food. It's the food. It's the food.
The
Yes.
younger people look older than
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
skin,
Yeah.
their skin be
It's the-
horrible.
Horrible.
That food and all that junk. and
They
it's
skin,
killing
they
them.
hair, like
Yup, it's
I've never
killing them.
seen so many young
It's the
people
food.
dealing with like alopecia, dealing with skin disorders, and you're like, my goodness.
It's the food.
They excuse me. They
I
look
was talking
bad.
to the young lady, my masseuse, and she was telling me the question about do you wash with a washcloth versus not washing with a washcloth came up. And she was saying that when she deals with people with the massages, she can tell by their skin those who use a washcloth and those who don't. And she was saying that the texture of some of these young people's skin is horrible. She says that as she's massaging them, like you feel the roughness and the grit and the oil and all of that. And she's just saying like these are young people and their skin be so dry and they have so many different ailments.
Wow.
And
in
they
their
look
bodies.
old.
Yeah.
A lot of them look old. You
Yeah.
be like, what? And so I'm
Yeah.
gonna be saying I'm 12, 13. I'm like, wow.
That's because half of them out here raising themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
They living hard.
Yeah, they living hard lives. They doing grown people shit.
Sure is. They can teach
Because
us
they
stuff. They
parents
doing
ain't
all
doing
this
grown
wrong
people
stuff.
shit.
That's it
And
right
they
there.
doing it in
Yeah.
front of them.
That's
and
it
they
right
re-
there.
And they
That right.
repeating it.
Right. That's
They
it.
repeating it.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
just,
We know who we
It's
get. We
crazy.
know what we raising.
We do.
we do.
Yeah.
We know.
We do.
People like Naomi went off to college. It's a party school. She gonna party. First off, she seen her parents party.
Yeah.
Do
you
you
know what
think-
I'm saying? We party.
It's an
But she also seen us do what we had to do when we was partying too, especially me as a mother.
Yeah, it's
You could do all of that. That's why you on this earth to do all of that.
Yeah.
You better have some balance to it and do what you supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
It's wild.
So we know
Wow.
what we have out here.
It's wild.
Yeah. We
All
know.
these people that's out here robbing, sticking up, doing all that. These young kids,
Mhm.
12 all the way up to
Yeah.
18, 19. Ain't no old folks doing this. These young kids, they got masks all the way up to their eyes. Come on now, really? And it be 100 degrees out there, and you
But
already know
who?
they up to
But
no
who
good.
started that mask thing? Who started
Yep.
making us
Yep.
or allowing us or wanting us
Easy
to
to
wear the
rob.
mask?
Hello.
Hello. Yep.
People
So-
say it's very easy for somebody to get robbed now
Yep.
because you got a mask on.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Yes. And they said they was gonna make a law that you with no mask and a doggone hoodie. They ain't said nothing yet. They ain't gonna say nothing.
Cause the winter time coming up,
Yeah.
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 people wear that in the winter time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Yep.
horrible.
And that's why they robbing and sticking up. You can't go to no gas station. You can't go to none of this stuff. Cause they be on the next car and you.
But let me ask you this: do you think that just started, or has that been going on?
Well, you know what? I think myself. I think it just started since this mask. And what that's been about a year or two ago.
Maybe an
Increase.
since
Yeah.
the
right.
mask. Yeah.
Since the
So I'ma
mask.
say, it's been going on. If we start going back really and listening to the music back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
certain songs,
Yeah.
looking at different programs back in the day, movies, this shit been going on.
Yeah.
We just become more aware when we older,
Yeah.
Mhm.
when we start getting it.
And the
Yeah.
masses and all.
You know
that
what I'm
stuff.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah, we're more conscientious.
Yeah,
of it
right.
now.
It's still going on,
More
just doing it a
observant.
different way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cause back in the day when we was growing up, they was robbing people, taking their shoes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
them
Sure
starter
was
coats.
the gym
You
shoes.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't have no phones recording. It wasn't.
We didn't have technology to see
Right.
what's going on. But the shit still been
It's
going
still
on.
been going on.
Yep.
So do
Yeah,
y'all think
still
crime
going on.
was worse back then, or is it worse now?
No.
Because I didn't heard some stories about back then crime.
We think it's worse now because we aware now.
Because
But they
okay,
still had that same shit
They
going
still-
on.
Back in the day.
We're just
Yeah.
aware of it. We're older. We are now our parents.
Yeah.
we are
Remember
now
when
our
our parents be like, it's
parents.
bad out there, this and that. Y'all doing
Yes,
this, y'all doing
yes.
that. Y'all listening to NWA. What
Yes.
are y'all doing?
Do y'all think the music? Because I hear people blame the music for a lot of young
But the
behavior.
music-
Again,
the
the
thing
music
is-
for
all
each
that.
generation.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
that's like saying,
Talk louder, baby. I want to hear from you.
so yeah, the music can play a part, but at the same time, that's all about self control as well. Like, so
Right.
that person's making you make a choice through their story. That's their story. They did some things.
Yeah.
So through them, you making the same decision that they made, even though you know that was the wrong decision. So there you go, like
Right.
influence to influence or whatever. Like,
But
they
a
are a
lot of
follower,
people-
not a
But the
leader.
music,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
but
But
the
Instead of
music-
allowing them, they using their man, instead of them making their own choices, they already know the answer, but then they second guess themselves and they go with the second answer
Mhm.
when they should want that first answer.
But you got a lot of people that's copycatters. They see
Exactly.
somebody else do it, then they
That's
want,
what I'm
they
saying.
want to
You
go out
have
there and
those
try
that
it.
are not leaders,
Yeah.
they are followers.
Yeah.
So what they see, they gonna do.
They do it. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
But the music really is just what our reality
It's
is.
exactly.
Mhm.
It shouldn't make
It's
nobody.
with the
do
teenagers
anything.
and the stuff that I listen to, to hear what's going on. That's the reality of their world that they live in with their peers. That's nothing to them. That's nothing to them because that's the talk. That you know what I'm saying? That's their
But
world.
you have to know this too. The kids want to know how to make some of this stuff, and neither we would if we didn't learn from school. So we took it
Yeah.
and used it to our advantage. We were taught this. We was taught to use a computer. We was taught to make our own web pages. It's based on school. So a lot of people are still in school. Some people feel like they didn't have to go to school because they was out here in the streets doing it already. And look at it. We're in their school right now.
Mm.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
And why do
Because a
you
lot
all
of people might
think?
not understand their school, but some of us that do be like, oh, this ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just like people that be like, that are stars. Them people, yeah, they stars too, but we can do the same thing like them. We all can
It's
make.
just they got money and they just think.
No, you don't really need the money. People are going to do just because.
The wrong doing. You know.
I was sent this question before today to ask.
What happened?
What y'all laughing at? Huh?
I said, I'm gonna go out, see y'all.
Okay, Kim. Just go out the.
Out the side door.
Yeah.
Okay,
See, Kim.
Kim.
Kim. Take some food. Take some food.
I have no idea what this is.
What are they laughing at? I have no idea. What are y'all laughing at?
I'm gonna say these three.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
I have no idea.
What happened?
I don't know. It's between them two. The two ones that's high. It's between them.
It's between. It's got it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's between
Look at 'em.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Go ahead. Darling, go ahead. Let me get some more chips and dip.
Go ahead. Get some more chips and dip.
Chips and dip.
We should go on a break.
Yeah.
Just go on a break.
Can we go to break? Can we go to